Hey everyone, we are back with another episode of our podcast. We're the Football Tailgaters and we talk everything about the NFL. As always, I have here with me Yams, the Jets fan, Andy, the unbiased football fan, and myself, Aaron, the Cowboys fan, he had a tough Sunday. I myself had a really tough Sunday. Yams, I'm pretty sure you were pretty relaxed because you guys had a bye week over there, and somehow you still kind of won. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll go over our topics for today. We'll go over the big Buffalo versus Vikings game. We're going to talk about who's to blame for the Buffalo loss and who's to blame for the Cowboys loss. Dallas had a tough game against Green Bay. We'll talk about that too. And then also Tom Brady in Germany against Geno Smith. The Seattle Seahawks. What a game. That was pretty exciting. I know the crowd was really into it. There was a lot of attention to that crowd. It looks like it was an exciting atmosphere to be in. That was something fun to watch. And, you know, the Bucs took the win here with Tom Brady looking to maybe be back in his groove. The whole team as well. Fournette did seem to get injured there with it was something with his hip. So we'll talk about if they're going to be back. Are they contenders now? Are they back in their groove? And we also go over the usual week previews of this coming week, week 11. We'll talk about that. I kind of want to get over with the whole Dallas thing so we don't have to talk about it in the middle of it. I think it's just best because I personally have a lot of frustration with this game, and I did see it coming. I wasn't that surprised. But I'll just go over my quick thoughts of how dumb this team is and how it was about time. I think they deserve this game because they really need to see that those issues when your defense doesn't perform on one of your games, when it doesn't carry you all the time, you need to make up for that. The defense isn't always going to carry your games. And this is exactly what happened. You showed this offense really can't help out the defense if the defense isn't playing well. This is how I saw the game. I saw the defense was struggling against the run game, which we mentioned in the previous podcast. Andy and I were kind of agreeing on the run game being the Cowboys' kryptonite because that front line can struggle against the run. And even the linebacker sometimes. And I saw Michael Parsons wasn't lined up on the line as much this game, which is the strangest thing. You would see him lined up more in the linebacker position in this. Well, is that considered, I guess, the second line of defense? You know, you get what I mean. But you had a lot of issues with the defense, and they weren't performing. It just not every single Sunday or every time they play, they're going to just perform to the max level. That's not the case. Same thing, you know, the Jets aren't always going to perform with their defense in the top level every single game, right? You're going to see them have issues. And this is exactly what happened. And this is a wake-up call for Mike McCarthy to discipline that offense and to fix those issues. You really could tell he wanted to win this game. And you saw him. I don't know if you guys saw that. But it was almost at the end of the game. What was the call where he threw his headset onto the ground?
Yeah.
He was livid.
The fourth down call
when he didn't convert.
When he went for it, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. And he was absolutely livid because the play before that, there was a pass interference call that wasn't called. Well, I personally think it was pass interference, but it's the kind of games where you're just not going to get every call and you have to deal with it, and you just have to be a better team and overcome those issues. Yes, it's bad refereeing, but you see those in a lot of games. So you can't always use that as an excuse to say, oh, that's why we lost. It's one of the reasons, but it's also the reasons of your offensive coordinator not coming up with better plays, not saving them for the perfect timing, not sticking to your game plan of gashing them with the run game. They were doing really good with Pollard, and they were struggling with the passing game. Dak Prescott threw for 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and I'll be here to say I'll sort of defend him. I'm not going to say he's a great quarterback. Like, he's a top 5 all the time. He fluctuates. I don't think he's going to be at his peak every time. He's not going to be a Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, a top tier number 1 quarterback. He needs help from his team around him. And you got to see a lot of miscommunication and a lot of lack of discipline from the offense. A lot of the plays that were big mistakes and this 2 interceptions were miscommunications and lack of discipline. The offside, I think it was Tolbert that he had, that was on a critical play as well, where Pollard ran for a good amount of yards. That hurt them really bad too. there's just a lot of frustration. It's on the offensive side. And I know, Yams, you said on the text that you were kind of leaning more towards being the quarterback and the defensive coordinator. I completely disagree. Yes, the quarterback isn't that good. He's obviously better than Cooper Rush. No question in that. We're not going to go back to that, right?
No.
He's just he needs help around him. He's just that type of quarterback. That's where you make the mistake. They're eating their words right now. You paid this man, and now you need to help him, and you're not helping him, right? And I think that's a lot of the issues. It's the offensive coordinator, their scheme. Mike McCarthy's just discipline that team. You're not supposed to have those dumb penalties that hurt you in the long run. That's my rant.
No, I think you need to eat a Snickers and go ahead, just calm down a bit. What are you gonna say, Yams?
I think it's this falls on the defense. Your defense can't allow Aaron Jones and what's his name, Dillon, AJ Dillon, to take control of the game. You put your offense obviously on the line there when I don't want to say McCaffrey, McCarthy decides to go for it. You guys put the pressure on the offense to try to convert on a fourth down because knowing that if we give the ball back to you guys, excuse me, you're just gonna go down the field. But I don't like that call. I don't like that call.
What call? The fourth?
The fourth. I think you kick it and go and get yourself 3 points.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it's the type of play that if it works, man, what a good coach. And if it doesn't work, man, what is wrong with you? It's that type of thing. So you can't really judge him for that because he was going based off of his groove.
Yeah.
Then Jim Harbaugh should be out of the league because he's done that plenty of times.
And look how it works out for him. You go for the 3. You see how the defense has been.
Well, that's why they went for it.
I know. You go. You make the 3. You tell Dan Quinn, make your adjustments right now. Do not let them, block whatever you have to do. We're up. Get the 3 points. I don't know. You are up. At least you are up and not having to. Aaron Rodgers does that best. Is throwing that deep ball. He's done it to the Cowboys time after time.
Well, I mean, that's why everybody knows, and McCarthy knows, and Dan Quinn knows. I'm sure that Dan Quinn did the best of his ability. Well, maybe not even the best of his ability, but
this is the first time the Cowboys actually have a good defense and
a great defense.
Okay, well, it was great. Well, you would have.
Well, not yesterday.
Won,
yeah,
not
yesterday.
Yeah, they're gonna have their bad days, and that's my point. Every top defense is gonna have their bad days, and this was one of those days. And this is one of those days where the offense really had to pull the weight of that defense because Dan Quinn can't do everything for the Cowboys. Dan Quinn isn't the Cowboys. It's Mike McCarthy and the entire team of the Dallas Cowboys. Where was the offense? Well, that's what I'm saying.
One critique that I do have about the Dallas defense in this particular game is Micah Parsons. You usually put him in the end, in the defensive end, going after the quarterback. He was a non-factor. He was always pulling up and trying to protect and defending the run. And that's what basically the Cowboys knew how the Packers were going to be executing with the run, and they just weren't able to stop it, even though they tried to prepare for it, but they just got beat by Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
No. Yeah, okay, they tried to prepare for it. How many, those interceptions that Dak Prescott threw, was it 2 of them, right?
Yeah, it was 2 of them, and we don't even know if it was actually his fault. It looks like it was.
It seemed like they were not in communication, so there goes back to you're prepared for them. They're not prepared. They're not prepared at all for them.
And who does it go up to? Who does that blame go up to?
Well, it goes to the coach. It goes to the coach.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It goes up to Mike McCarthy and the offensive coordinator as well for not having to discipline their players as well. When Jalen Tolbert had that offside, when Pollard pulled off for that big run.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that?
Which is really weird, though. Why does this happen in the end of the game? That's what really surprises me with the Cowboys.
Because there's no discipline.
But why in the end, though? It's
because there's no urgency. There's no quick thoughts, quick decisions. Make your quick, because I don't know what they do in practice, honestly. But clearly they're not preparing for those. They're not preparing tight games.
You guys, the Jets went to the Lambeau Stadium and they beat them with the run.
Anything to bring up the Jets. But
I'm just stating the obvious here. The Green Bay Packers lost to Green Bay. I'm sorry, to Washington. They lost to the Giants.
It doesn't matter if you put them whoever they beat or whoever they lost to or whatever. It's still going to be Aaron Rodgers, and they still have these weapons, and they just figured out a way to beat Dallas. It's not like it's going to be the same thing every week.
Yeah, but but in this point is it's the fact that the Cowboys offense wasn't able to outsmart a bad defense for Green Bay.
Well, actually, Green Bay hasn't been, I mean, they played against Buffalo, and they didn't play awful against Buffalo. And Buffalo, we have them as a top-tier team. I know Buffalo lost the last week against the Jets.
Which would be a topic later on today, but...
And they lost yesterday against Vikings.
Haven't they lost 3 in a row now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not 3 in a row. Yeah. It's only been 2. They didn't lose against the Packers.
Oh, they didn't lose against the Packers. It was the Jets, and they lost. Okay, 2 in a row now. Go ahead.
Well, anyways, I don't blame the Cowboys going for it on 4th down. That's actually, I actually really like that call. The problem I have is the execution. They didn't execute on the game plan for it.
100%.
The game plan for that particular play, do something else instead of putting the game on Dak's shoulders. That way, make it something easier for them, because you know the type of quarterback that you have. I know that you're paying him a lot, but he is not Tom Brady. He's not Patrick Mahomes. So figure out a play that can work to get you to convert the 1st down. So I don't blame to go for it. It's just the execution.
Well, we're in November now, and this is when you start seeing the teams start to separate, right, from being good and from being bad, pretenders and contenders.
It starts, yeah.
And Chicago Bears did play against the Cowboys, and they also were able to run against the Cowboys defense.
Because the league knows that is how you beat the Cowboys. That's why they got more help, and they traded for that for Harrison from the Raiders.
Well, hopefully that starts to click, because.
Well, my final thought on this particular game is that this is just a typical Cowboys game that they all the lights are showing up on them. They think that they're a really good team. Everybody looks at them as a really good team, a great defense, and they just got blown out by an organized team that knows, with the veteran leadership with Aaron Rodgers, and just figures out how to beat them. They have the game plan that the Packers did just outshine whatever the Dallas Cowboys tried to do. They were unprepared, and that's how it showed up, unfortunately. But we'll see next game.
They're not that organized. I mean, we saw how many times Aaron Rodgers has been angry, and he was angry again in this game.
But his veteran leadership came out, and he won. He figured it out. That's why he's such a good, talented quarterback.
He is. And he knows what to do, and that's why he yelled at the coach at LaFleur. I mean, run this crap out.
That was really funny.
Run this crap out, in uglier words.
It's because he asked for
because the time stopped.
The time stopped, exactly.
Yeah. He wanted the time to keep running, so he run. Yeah. And so you can
if you're a head coach,
you should know this.
I mean, you're listening to your quarterback, you just bend down, and you're usually the head coach is the one that makes the decisions. But in this type of case, it feels like Aaron Rodgers just overpowers him.
Not if your name Calamari or Aaron Rodgers, you can yell at your coach. But any other quarterback would probably get fired.
I don't know. It's weird.
No.
I don't think so.
It just shows the relationship that they have.
It's not. I don't know if they're very comfortable with each other to start yelling like that, because I don't remember Aaron Rodgers yelling at McCarthy.
It could be either or. But either way, Andy was kind of making my points here. It's the lack of discipline and the lack of organization and how you run that offense that lost them the game. Mm-hmm. There's way too many mistakes. That kind of stuff can't happen in a playoff game. And this was a playoff game level, and they did not execute to their expectations. So, again, it proves my point that the Cowboys are not ready offensively with all that talent that they have. And I think it did hurt them to miss Elliott a little bit, because they run that dynamic run game that they have, and they shied away from it. They were doing really good, but when they first started, they had those it was 2 3-and-outs in a row or something like that.
Maybe they need Beckham, honestly. It's just that little elevation.
100%.
So for him to be a veteran player.
Michael Gallup was almost non-existent, and also Dak wasn't he was kind of forcing throws as well. They need to figure out that offense. That offense is the issue, and that poor defense is being really bad. They're just getting destroyed because they're throwing all kinds of things at them, and the offense can't pull the weight when they're having a bad game. So And they're going against the Vikings. That's not going to help. So that's going to be an issue. And after a big, big win, they got a lot of momentum against the Buffalo Bills. And we'll move on over to the Buffalo Bills, which in a very, very crazy game, I thought it was probably the game of the year, maybe, as of now, so far.
Yeah.
With probably most definitely the catch of the year. What am I saying? With Justin Jefferson, insane catch.
And crazy catch. He used the other player's arm to completely
better than Beckham's.
Control. Yeah, well, that one was also a really good catch, but this one
is the same tier. It's the same tier because they're both differently. They're both
catch of the year so
very
far.
Difficult.
Yeah,
yes,
catch of
for
the
sure
year so far. And Minnesota Vikings, they are contenders, and now I think it's time for people to start dismissing them because it's Kirk Cousins, and everybody just feels like Kirk Cousins is just those quarterbacks.
What about
that's gonna get shut out? And they're actually they're for real. The Vikings are for real. They've only lost one game, so they can be contenders, really, really big time contenders with the 49ers and the Eagles.
I think you give a lot of credit to that coaching staff that they have.
For sure. I
think that coaching staff is really special, and this is something that I wish that the Cowboys would have. But with the Bills showing a lot of struggle, I know Josh Allen was pretty private about his injury status prior to the game. And I saw a video of him running away when the media came in when he was practicing. I don't know if you guys saw that. You guys see that?
No, I didn't see it.
I saw the post yesterday. I don't know when. It was probably Friday when they took the video or something like that. But they were very trying to keep it under wraps about his injury report and his status and what he was doing in practice. So who knows if that even played a factor, because Josh Allen was not the usual Josh Allen, making a lot of mistakes, really crucial mistakes.
Well,
with those, what was it?
It can be one of those situations that they're putting the game on his shoulders a lot too, and that's why they're trying to figure out this running game, which in my opinion is not that awful, but it seems like they just have to keep away from it. That's why they got Hines, but I mean they got Singletary, they got James Cook, now they got Hines. I don't know if Zach Moss is still there, but I mean, figure this out and start trying to put the game under the quarterback's shoulder, especially if he's injured.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's injured, but he's been doing these kind of throws that are kind of questionable these last few games. He had two against the Jets, I think. He had two against Vikings. I can't remember if he threw any of those throws in the Packers game. I think he threw one. I'm not too sure. But we did talk about it that he was throwing.
He threw two of them
in the Packers game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So there you go. There's been 6 now. It might be that's just too much responsibility on him. The running game, it's just they can't get it going. They haven't been able to get the running game going for years. But I do know that there was two mistakes on the NFL officials on that game, and it wasn't overtime. That it should have just ended the game a long time ago for the Vikings. It was that catch for Gabe Davis where I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was not a catch. The ball was loose as he was going down out of bounds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they got away with that. Yeah,
they got away with that. And then there was 12 men on the field when Dalvin Cook got stuffed. They didn't catch that.
That's weird.
They didn't catch that, and so the NFL officials like, yeah, my bad. But it should have ended a long time ago. Yeah, and they still lost. Yeah, they still lost.
With all that help, they still lost.
With all that help.
Yeah, especially on that when they had the snap like close to the end zone. It was just a horrible snap. Then it became a touchdown for the Vikings to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was going insane. Because I was like, I can't believe the Bills are about to lose. That puts the Jets tied at second. I don't know, but
oh man.
Thank you, Vikings.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins on paper didn't really do that well.
He did well.
I think he did.
He did well.
2 interceptions and a touchdown.
No, but those throws
like
right in the end.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. He didn't do well on paper, but when you watch the game, it looks like he did good.
Yeah,
he was there when he was supposed to be there, and that's what mattered. Yeah. Now that's what's kind of nerve-wracking about him, because he does shy away from the spotlight whenever, because it's like a joke going around that every time there's a prime time for Cousins, he's just awful. He's god awful.
And you turn on like the media, like the ESPN and these sports shows, and they put him like kind of like as a non-factor. They do say they're good, or it's more Justin Jefferson or whatever, but they dismiss him. They don't give him too much credit.
Yeah. He's throwing.
He has some really good throws.
He's on the dime on those throws. And yeah, Justin Jefferson did do some crazy catches, especially that one that you just mentioned where he did a one-handed catch with the help of the other defender. But yeah, you can't dismiss Kirk Cousins, and hopefully that he does well. I mean, I'm rooting for the guy.
Well, I'm gonna put a big eye when it's their next primetime game, because that's gonna be important to see if he doesn't, if he shrinks or not.
I mean, it was a big time game. This one.
No, a primetime.
Oh, okay, primetime.
It has to be like Monday night, Thursday night, or Sunday night. No, I don't know.
Oh, well, that's in 2 games. It's after the Cowboys game. Patriots
Are they gonna flex
on
that
Sunday
one?
night.
They play the Patriots on Sunday night, so we'll see.
Might get flexed, and then they play the Jets after.
Interesting.
Well, just final thought on for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
They just need to really stop putting the game on Josh Allen's shoulders. He needs some help. He is injured. You can tell he's not throwing the ball correctly, and he's also doing bad mistakes as well. No, besides his bad mistakes, he's also sort of injured, and you can tell.
But he got injured this last game. What about the other games? He keeps throwing. He's looking like the same Josh Allen that I remember when he came out as a rookie, throwing those type of throws, just inaccurate, throwing them in triple coverage. Like, I don't know what he's seeing when he's throwing those.
Well, like I said, it goes to the point to stop putting the game on his shoulders. He needs more help. And the defense needs to step up a little bit more. I know that Von Miller has been helping, but they need to step up a little bit more. So
that's why I don't choose Buffalo Bills for my Super Bowl pick. And I know one of you guys did.
I did.
Yeah, I did. Real quick, like right away, just quick thoughts on this. Are you guys maybe putting Mahomes ahead of Allen this year?
Right now, yeah, for
He's
sure.
He's always been ahead of Allen in my list. I don't know what you're talking about.
But what do you mean, as a quarterback, or like as a team?
As a quarterback.
He's always been ahead of my list.
Yeah, I've always thought Patrick Mahomes is better than Josh Allen.
Okay, just curious.
You don't, or what?
No, yeah. It's just a lot of people put a lot of hype on him on being like the top QB of the league, or at least top 3.
Yeah,
is he top 3?
That's people that don't know. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But I would.
What a diss, Andy.
I know.
Yeah, he just dissed the whole Bills fan base.
No,
they're very vocal about them too.
He's a very good quarterback, but I wouldn't put him on top of Mahomes. And for me, it would be like Brady, Rodgers, and Mahomes, and then I would put Josh Allen.
Okay, so let's talk about Brady now with the victory they had against the Seahawks, 21-16 in Germany. Tom Brady had a pretty good game from what I was able to catch. He went 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he went 22 for 29 for 258 yards. And Leonard Fournette, I know at the end of the game he got banged up, so Rashard White was actually taking the heavier load with 22 carries, and he went for 100 yards. What happened to the Seahawks, and are the Buccaneers back now? Are they in their groove?
Our last week on the podcast, I told you guys that I think the Seattle Seahawks might be affected by the traveling, because they did travel the week before. They have to go home, and then they have to travel a whole United States, the whole Atlantic Ocean, and all the way to Germany. And Tampa, they just had to cross the Atlantic and basically get to Germany. So I think that also had some effect on them, that they were pretty tired because they didn't execute as well as they always do. So I'm gonna give them that benefit of the doubt. But Tom Brady, he actually played at the very end how he usually does to win the games. He, like a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers did, he figured it out to win the game. So
what about the defense? They held the running game was non-existent for the Seahawks, and Kenneth Walker wasn't able to get booming.
Going.
Yeah. No, those are very good points. So the team overall, the defense, they played well, and I just give a lot of credit to Tom Brady in the end, because he's the one that really helped to pull it off. Of course, also the wide receivers, right, like Miller, and the running backs as well, like White and Fournette.
Julio Jones caught one.
Julio Jones caught one, went into the end zone for the touchdown, then disappeared.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that it's really cool that game in Germany. I really enjoyed like watching all the fans there. They stayed after the game when the game ended, and
well, that's because it's Germany and they won't kick you out here like in the United States. I just want to go home.
But they were really like pumped up for it. They were like singing songs, and
yeah,
they were
but
like,
that's a different country. They allow you to have a little bit of fun, unlike here where they it's time to wrap it up. Go, let's go. Gotta go make dinner for my kids. But this is the thing with me, and this is why I didn't want to. I chose the Seahawks to win. And later on, I was thinking, okay, do I really believe in Geno Smith? And I don't believe in Geno Smith. I just don't. I had Geno Smith, not me, but the Jets had Geno Smith for 7 years. And I know what this guy is. I don't know if he will continue doing what he's doing. He played good in the fourth quarter and he got him close, right? But the first 2-3 quarters, that's the Geno Smith I know. That's the Geno Smith I know. So I don't know if this Seahawks with the Geno Smith I'm still not sold because it's Geno Smith, but
I don't blame it all on Geno Smith.
No.
I actually give more credit to the Tampa Bay defense that actually knew how to defend this team.
I felt like the Seahawks were almost a little bit too passive against them. That's what I felt like.
What do you mean passive?
You didn't do that bad. It's because first of all, the running game was non-existent. It was just, I feel like it was just something about the game plan that just wasn't working.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just couldn't find a groove to it.
Well, it's because I don't know if it has a lot to affect. I don't know what your guys' opinion is, but this team travels so much. And traveling all the way over there to Germany, I don't think they were just really prepared.
Of course, traveling all the way over there. And then on top of that, you're facing Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And just like Aaron Rodgers, you said at one point they're going to figure it out.
Tom Brady.
I know. I'm referencing Aaron Rodgers. You said at one point Aaron Rodgers is going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes here with Tom Brady. At one point, him and the team are going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So are they on the rise?
Yeah.
Probably.
It seems like it. It's as long as the defense holds up, I think they'll be fine because the defense is very important to that team in general. Because if that defense doesn't perform, because that's supposed to be a really good defense.
Another point to point out is these teams that had, well, not all of them, right? Because the Rams are struggling, but these teams that have new offensive line that just happen to start together, starting to work together towards during the season because of injuries or some of them retire, like Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they start clicking with each other, the offensive line, and the team starts playing better because an offensive line, they really need that training camp to work with each other and be in sync with each other to be able to play with these running games and be able to be on the same page when there's protection that's needed and everything. So this is the time that they're actually going to be playing better, and we're going to be seeing teams that were losing before getting actually momentum to win during the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact: Brady threw his first interception.
Oh yeah. In
399 passes without having one.
Almost went to 400. I think he was up there with the record without throwing it. And I think who was number one? Rodgers. I think it was Rodgers. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was Rodgers too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're gonna be good as long as the defense is good, like I said before. And they're back at 500. They're even 5-5. Seahawks fall to 6-4. So why don't we move on over to the game previews, Andy? How about that?
Before we get to the game previews, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that Pittsburgh and New Orleans game because a lot of people had New Orleans beating the Pittsburgh Steelers because Pittsburgh Steelers has been having so much difficulty. But what I saw is that they started to get in sync with the running game, especially Pickens, the wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Man, he's been really explosive. They actually used him as a runner to get that touchdown. And
yep.
I know that they went all the way towards the fourth quarter in order to get that big lead that the Steelers actually got. But, it looks like they can, if they continue this way, this momentum can carry on for some of the games throughout the rest of the season and maybe until next year, too. So, no, they didn't look awful.
No, they didn't. And I think that the fact that they got TJ Watt back helped them tremendously on that defense side.
I didn't watch the game. Was he playing a lot, or were they taking him kind of slow?
No, he was playing a lot, and I think that caused the 2 interceptions that Andy Dalton threw. So yeah, I think TJ Watt is the reason why they probably won that game. And I saw somewhere on TV, what was it? We were watching it. Oh, they predicted the upset. It was like a pick it to paradise type of thing. Pick it to paradise.
You mean Colin Cowherd?
Oh, that one. Yes. So I don't know. They saw something that I didn't.
Patrick didn't play either.
No,
so they were,
play.
And he's pretty impactful, I would say.
Yeah, heck yeah, for that secondary, he's one of the biggest names in the NFL.
But they still got interceptions without him.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, Steelers have a promising. It looks based on this game only. It looked like they may have a promising future if they can build off of this game.
Perhaps
build off of this.
Yes,
game.
Of course. But who does have a promising future is Pickens. I think he's going to be
a top
wide receiver next year. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I have him in one of my leagues, and he's been doing pretty good. That rush touchdown really helped him.
Yeah, for sure.
And what about Najee Harris in fantasy? Is he?
It looks like he did okay.
I know he was a big bust.
He's not maybe.
In a way, he was
running
well,
really
but
high
then
up. You guys had him in top 5.
Yeah, it's because I had him last year when I was the last pick in our league.
Yeah, he
pick
was
number 12, and he helped me a lot, even though I didn't get close to winning the league. But he gave me a lot of chances.
It's the Linz Frank injury, right? That's kind of holding him back.
I have 2 bust running backs. I have DeAndre Swift and Najee, and they're both on my bench.
That's really unfortunate.
You have Najee?
One of my leagues.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, let's start with the game previews for Week 11. Let's start off with let's start with the Thursday night football game, the Green Bay Packers against the Tennessee Titans. Who you guys got?
I think I got the Packers in this one because of their momentum. And yes, Titans didn't win their last game, and they've won more games in a row than the Packers. But I think first of all, I think Titans are getting carried by Derrick Henry way too much. And if the defense can figure out how to stop him and Aaron Rodgers gets rolling, they'll be fine. And I think they'll win the game. It'll be kind of close though. I think they're a -3, so they're favored to win right now.
I think I would go with the Titans just because I like Mike Rabel more than I do like LaFleur. And they have Derrick Henry. And if they're able to run the ball against the Patriots like every other team has except the Cowboys, I think the Titans will win.
Yeah, no, I have the Green Bay Packers to win this game because they can, if they carry this momentum over to this next game against the Titans, they can win. Because I believe more on Aaron Rodgers than the quarterback from the Tennessee Titans. Even though I have mad respect for Mike Rabel, the coach for the Titans, and he stays on these games like on each game, like they're not being blown off and they're very close to winning. So next year, I think the Titans are going to do better, but for this Thursday night, I'm going to be picking the Packers. All right, next game is the Chicago Bears against the Atlanta Falcons. Who do you guys got?
The Bears, because Fields is on a roll, even though they were on a very disappointing loss against the Lions.
Did you say Jeff Fields?
Justin Fields.
Okay.
I probably cut out. No, I think because of Justin Fields, what we've seen from him, and I think the Bears are pretty excited to see what they can draw up for him. He's been on a roll on the ground, going over 100 yards on 2 games straight. He's a big threat now, and I think the Falcons should be worried. That defense, I don't know if they can hold up against that running game with the Bears, and by the running game I mean Fields. So I think the Bears have this one in a close one as well.
I agree with you. I don't know why that the Falcons are our favorite.
Favorites?
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I choose the Bears. I think Justin and the offense are finally clicking, and I think Matt Eberflus is finally making a print and making a statement. So yeah, I go with the Justin Fields and Bears with this one.
Bears need to win this game, honestly. They're showing very promising things with Justin Fields and the offense. And Eberflus needs to actually get this team.
How do you even do that?
I don't know. It's just funny. It's just this team is just showing sparks every single game. And this is a perfect game to actually show what they can do against the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons, they do have some things. Basically, the quarterback needs to be replaced and a better game plan for their games because they looked pretty bad against the Panthers last week. So the Bears should take this win. Next game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles against Jeff Saturday, and it's Colts. Who you guys got?
I got the Eagles because it's the Colts winning against the Raiders doesn't say much about the Colts, other than the Raiders suck even more than I thought they did. Unless I'm completely wrong, and Jeff Saturday is actually pretty good. But I don't know what's behind the scenes with Jeff Saturday and how much control he's having over it. Safe bet Eagles here.
Keeping it simple, safe bet Eagles. I can't go against the Eagles yet until I see a dominant team.
Yeah, no, and the Colts are not a dominant team at all. I don't think they are going to be able to beat the Eagles. But hey, this is the year of the underdog, so you never know, right?
I hope so. I hope Jeff Saturday wins because we all know the news that happened with him and how he got the job. And they're all the media, right? I hope he proves people wrong. Like, hey, I am the right coach for this job. And also, I'm tired of seeing them undefeated. Can someone please make them lose?
Yeah, it'll be a really fun game if the Colts do win, but we all are in agreement that the Eagles are going to take it. Next game, the New York Jets against the Bill Belichick Patriots. Who you guys got?
The rematch.
The rematch.
I think the Jets win this one, actually.
It's in Foxborough.
I think they learned a lesson after the first game they had with them. But man, I really hope they win. If they win, I think they're really legit for a playoff run here. And obviously, this is going to separate them more in the standings in their division because that division is kind of tight. You got the Dolphins kind of close. The Bills are still in it, obviously, even though they're 0-2 in their own division. And then the Patriots, they're 5-4. So they're not a terrible team, but they find the way to win. So this is the time for Jets to win. If they win, they're legit contenders for a good wild card spot, I think. It's going to be tough to win the division. So I have the Jets winning in this one.
I have the Jets winning too. They are a much better team on paper. I know it doesn't look they don't look great when they play against the Patriots. They had the game. They were still in it when they played the Patriots when they were playing in New York in MetLife. And this is a very important game. And I think they all in that team know that it's a very important game. If they win, they will be first in AFC East.
I think I know what Andy's going to say.
They will be first in AFC because Miami's in bye. And we already beat Miami.
Well, what's curious is that both these teams are coming from a bye week, the Jets and the Patriots.
I hate
so
that.
They both have been preparing for this particular game. Now, the Jets, if they keep with their game plan of running the ball well against the Patriots, which Bill Belichick's going to be prepared for that, and also to contain Zach Wilson. So in Foxborough, this particular game, I'm going to pick the Patriots to win the game.
How many more of these are going to beat?
Until the Jets beat the Patriots, which they have not. They have their card.
What if they win every other game, but they lose to the Patriots?
Well, we're talking about this week, so I'm not saying what's going to happen to the Jets at the end of the season. This week,
Well, you said you're not taking them seriously until they beat the Patriots.
Well, against the Patriots. And then the next time that they play the Patriots next year, still the Patriots, still Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, sir.
Well,
hey guys, what do you guys want? I don't believe that they can still beat the Bill Belichick.
Let me add something. When they faced Belichick or the Patriots the first game, they just traded for Robinson, and
which they should have traded for Jeff Wilson, in my opinion. You see how that guy played for Miami? Jeez, Miami just got better.
Screw Miami. So then, Robinson was there. Just came off the plane. So now that he's acquainted with the playbook, I think that they will win this game. And I think because of that bye week, and of course of the game that happened with Zach Wilson, who played horribly, I think he learned from it. You saw how he played against Buffalo. So.
All right, moving on. Wait, I just disagree with both you guys with there. Let's move
Be a non-believer. Continue.
Let's go to let's stick with the AFC East. Buffalo Bills versus the Browns. Who you guys got?
I'll the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills. Yeah, sorry. It's because it depends on Josh Allen, I think.
No, he should be able to beat the Browns, honestly.
No, but his health. You don't think right now he's playing through an injury?
No, I do agree with you, but even though the Browns have a good defense, but I have respect for the coach of Buffalo to be able to change this game plan and not put the game on Josh Allen's shoulders. So I'm taking the Bills to beat the Browns.
You don't think that the Browns running game can take over and the defense holds up?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Of course. This is the year of the underdogs. Of course they can beat them.
9.5 underdogs.
That's a really big spread. That's a really big spread. The thing is that Brissett, even though he hasn't been playing horrible, he's still not an amazing quarterback. And the weapons that he has for wide receivers, even though he do have Cooper and Peoples-Jones, it's still, I don't think it's going to be enough to beat this Buffalo Bills team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bills.
The New York Giants against the Detroit Lions. Who you guys got?
Oh, man.
I
think I got the Giants here Detroit, because of the running game.
Bears, right?
The Bears, yeah.
Okay.
The Bears, yeah.
Yeah, the Giants. The Giants win
because of the running game, even though they went against a really interesting running game right now with the Bears.
Yeah, the Giants have a decent defense, and with the way they're using Swift and Jamal Williams, I don't know what's the story there, but I don't.
It's so stupid.
Yeah,
they're forcing Swift to play while he's injured, and you're a rebuilding team. Sit him out. What is that gonna do to your team?
No,
you know?
Well, it's because they need to show something. But yeah, if he's not playing well, then yeah, don't use him as much.
He's not getting almost any touches.
He's getting like 6 or 5 touches per game. Yeah, so I know this because he's my fantasy running back. But yeah, I choose the Giants here. I think they steal another one here, even though Detroit always keeps it close. And they were able to win against Bears.
Passing game.
Yeah, but they were able to win against the Bears because the Bears defense is not great. So, if I put it against the Giants, they have a decent defense, so the Giants take the win.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Giants take the win here, and they're more balanced offense and defense than the Lions. The Lions' defense is not there. The offense, they just score a lot of points, so credit to the offense, but not the defense, so I'll take the Giants there. Next game, the Dallas Cowboys against the Minnesota Vikings. Who you guys got?
Oh, man.
I think that
after what I saw with the Vikings, I think the Vikings are going to win this one because I'm not so confident in my Cowboys.
Do you know if it's at home?
With the quiet voice. Yeah.
It's a home game?
Home games don't matter. Home games don't matter.
Okay.
They've lost really, really bad games at home.
Is this the game of the week? America's game of the week?
No. Actually, they play in Minnesota.
Oh, right?
They play in Minnesota.
They play in Minnesota?
And I'm not too sure if it's the game of the week. It's just one of those afternoon games. So I'm going to pick Minnesota to win because they're playing at home for one. And this momentum that Minnesota has, they've only lost one game. And it just showed the Cowboys their problems that they had against the Green Bay Packers. So the offensive coach of the Minnesota Vikings can actually put in a good game plan that the Green Bay Packers actually put it forth for this last game to be able to figure out how to beat the Cowboys. So the Cowboys are in a situation that they need to adapt and change their ways to be able to get to that next level, which right now it doesn't show that way. So I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings with those amazing weapons that they have.
That reminded me of last year with who was it that exposed them? It was the Broncos.
Oh man, they got destroyed by the Broncos.
Same exact thing happened this game with the Green Bay Packers and Cowboys. I just remembered that. It was basically the exact same thing where the Cowboys got really exposed. They're like, man, they're really not that good. Same thing's gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Sounds like it. And looks like it.
I don't know, guys. I think the Dallas Cowboys wins this one.
No, stop that. You said that with the Packers.
They win this one because at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is not Aaron Rodgers. Okay, forgive me. I chose against the Cowboys last time. I mean, against the Patriots last time. I think they fixed this. They fixed it this time around with Micah Parsons getting to the quarterback, Kirk Cousins, and he doesn't throw those throws. He gets intercepted. So
I'll tell you what, Aaron Rodgers didn't even look at Stephon Diggs. No.
Excuse me?
Stephon Diggs, his brother.
Aaron Rodgers didn't look at his brother?
No, Diggs, the cornerback for the Cowboys.
Oh,
Trayvon
Diggs. He didn't throw his way. So that shows the respect that Aaron Rodgers has for Diggs as a cornerback.
So who was on Watson?
Brown.
Okay.
Brown, and he got concussion, right? He was out for the game. So he got replaced. I forgot who was covering him after that, but he was getting smoked every single time because he is so fast. Oh man, I was gonna say something. Cook and that running game is scary. So they have to figure that out. That D-line has to figure that out. Micah Parsons, they need to figure that out.
Yep.
They need to stop because so 62%. I just looked at this. 62% run designs was for the Green Bay Packers. That's the most ever that they've ever done with Aaron Rodgers there. So they ran the ball so much that they knew exactly what they were doing. So you don't think the Vikings are going to do the same thing? If they don't, obviously, then they're way too confident in Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson to do the light work up there in the secondary. So, yeah, they do need to figure it out. But I think I'm very disappointed in the Cowboys, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm picking the Vikings.
Yeah. Next game, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Bengals. Who you guys got?
Hopefully the Bengals. But
why hopefully?
It's interesting because the Steelers, I don't think they're completely out of this. The Bengals have been struggling.
But how does that affect you? Why'd you say hopefully?
Because I'm picking the Bengals. Hopefully the Bengals, because I'm picking the Bengals.
Well, it looks like you like the Bengals, but okay.
I mean, I think they're a really good team, and I like Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's pretty cool.
And I'm sad that he lost the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
But I think Matthew Stafford deserved it because he's been through so much. So Bengals in this one.
Yeah, dinner's ready, guys. I gotta go.
Sorry.
I think the Bengals take this one. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they won against the Saints, and Saints is not a very good team. So, and Bengals are a good team, and I think they're getting hot. They're getting hot. So.
Well, this is a divisional game, the Steelers and the
true.
Bengals, so it might not be as easy as it is. So I'm still gonna pick the Bengals because they do have a better, I guess team, as the Steelers are rebuilding right now. But I wouldn't be surprised that it comes to the wire. But I'm still gonna pick the Bengals.
They were able to beat. Don't forget the Steelers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 2 points, but they beat them.
Yeah.
And the Bengals have lost to Cleveland.
They got a good head coach. I mean, Tomlin. I know there's a lot of haters for Tomlin since he's been there for a long time, and they've been to the Super Bowl a long time ago already. But I mean, they still have a good head coach that they're not going to be just blown out of the water every game. So
I think this is going to be one to watch that I could go either way.
Yeah, it could. Last game that I have here on my list is the San Francisco 49ers against the Arizona Cardinals. Who you guys got?
Oh, 49ers. After what we saw Sunday night?
This is the one that's getting played in Mexico City, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game.
If Kyler Murray plays, I'm going to go with Arizona.
Really?
Yeah. Arizona, cause the connection he has with Hopkins and Rondale Moore. Also, James Conner is playing well. And you could tell with Jimmy G, I don't know what's going on. They traded for Christian McCaffrey, but then they start running with Elijah Mitchell. What's going on there? What's going on? Why?
Yeah, they should have won a lot more yesterday with a lot more points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was...
I'm glad. It didn't go so bad for me.
Yeah, I know.
Fantasy.
I was hoping for McCaffrey.
I was so nervous. I was like, oh, he's going to drop 30, 40 on my head again.
No, but it didn't go that way, so it was pretty frustrating for me. But that team...
Oh, for you, because you have...
I have McCaffrey against Aaron this week, so...
Well, besides fantasy aside, let's put that aside.
No.
Like, why are you traded for this guy, but then you bring Elijah... It just doesn't make sense.
They should have won by a lot more.
I wonder if they asked that in the press conference. I didn't look at it.
No, they never ask good questions.
Yeah, reporters' questions is really frustrating sometimes. Especially when the team wins, the questions are horrible. When the team is losing, they're like on you. Are you gonna be? Are you scared for your job?
They're headhunting.
Yeah.
I wonder what they ask. And I know you said to say your pick. Go ahead. I don't want to stay away from the topic.
No. I mean, if for my pick for the 49ers and the Cardinals, I'm gonna pick the 49ers, even though they should have won last night by a lot more points against the Rams. They still are a little bit more functional team than the mess that the Arizona Cardinals have with that dysfunction with the head coach and the quarterback and the frustration of the wide receivers. Yeah, for sure. I need to watch it actually. And I think the 49ers are going to win in Mexico City. But you were going to say something.
I agree.
No, yeah, well, the questions. I wonder what was asked when Derek Carr started to cry. I wonder what was the question because they lost.
They cut off after he finished his emotional speech, Derek Carr.
Oh, so there wasn't even a question asked? He just decided to rant?
No, I'm sure that there was some questions, but the channel cut it off. Yeah,
okay.
they cut it off.
I need to go and look into it and see what's up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's out there. But also the Raiders are such a frustrating situation.
You didn't choose that game? Are they in bye?
They might be on bye.
Because I've been choosing Raiders to win.
They're going against the Broncos. I mean, if you guys want to discuss who you guys think, the Broncos,
like two trash teams, like who do we pick?
Or with Mr. Unlimited of Russell Wilson.
Mr. Unlimited, that's his alter ego for anyone who doesn't know.
Yep.
I mean, it's two trash teams. Honestly, at this point, I keep going towards the Raiders. I just want to flip a coin. And whatever it lands, heads or tails, that's gonna be my team that wins. I don't know. I can't. This is
I'm going to pick the Broncos, and it's because of the defense. The defense is one of the top defenses in the NFL, so I think that they can stop the Raiders. They have Devontae Adams, but they have weapons that went down for the Raiders. Waller's out, Renfro's out, so they have Adams, which of course he should be exploding every single game, but
he's not.
He's not. But earlier in the season, he was missing in action.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to pick the Broncos. I know that these two teams are struggling and they look awful, but I'm just going to pick the better defense.
I'm going to just ride with the Raiders, man.
No, I don't trust the Raiders
and
anymore.
lose and lose and lose. I thought that after losing to Colts to a head coach, Jeff Saturday, who was only there half or 3 days, to come and lose it to them, I thought they should have fired Josh McDaniels right that instant. Like, you're done. You're done.
No, that's what I said. I said he should have been gone after this.
Yeah.
If he can't beat an interim head coach that hasn't coached in his entire life, well, no, he has. He coached
a high school
a high school team, and he lost. No, it's just so embarrassing. I don't know what's going on with that front office.
Well, Mark Davis, the owner, came out today and said that he's sticking with Josh McDaniels and that he's doing a fantastic job.
Okay.
I know.
That's just for PR.
I know. But that just tells me that they're just throwing away the season and just going to get a really high pick. Honestly, Derek Carr might be gone after this season. I don't know about Devontae Adams.
Quarterback.
Yeah, they might be going for a quarterback, and Derek Carr might go to another team, probably.
Oh.
That's probably why he's crying.
That's interesting. Oh, he knows he's out of there. That's why he was crying. Wow, we just pieced it all together. That makes sense.
So real quick before we end the show, I just wanted to give a quick bets that I have lined up for this week. The Chicago Bears Las Vegas is giving them 3 points against Atlanta. So honestly, I don't need those 3 points. I would just pick the Bears money line to beat the Atlanta Falcons. And also the Eagles against the Colts, I would just pick the money line. I know that the Colts, I don't know if what's his name? The running back.
Jonathan Taylor might get things going. I don't know. This is going to be really interesting, you guys. I don't know.
It could be, but I mean, I'm still going to pick the Eagles money line to beat the Colts.
True.
I'm not taking the spread.
No, don't take the spread.
You don't think it'll be close?
I think it could be close, yeah.
It could be close, but I would think that the Eagles can actually beat the Jeff Saturday and his Colts, honestly. But that's just me.
No, that's interesting because, I mean, we can't forget about what the Eagles struggled against with Houston. And
the running game. So Jonathan Taylor needs to really crank it up, and whoever is the second running back, I don't know because Naheem Hines left. So
it was like Deion Jackson, I think, but he got injured. I think he's injured right now. I don't know besides that.
It'll be interesting to watch, honestly, to see. But yeah, I agree with your bet there, Andy. I would definitely take Moneyline's Bears. I also like the Eagles. The Eagles to take this one too. Now I feel afraid because I just manifested the Colts. And just for me, just for fun, but I wouldn't suggest this to anyone. I will also add the Jets on there.
Yeah. Woo!
Go Jets. But yep, Moneyline.
Moneyline Jets?
Moneyline Jets.
All right, I would probably take the spread, but that's just me.
Just 3 points.
I don't know, Aaron. Do you have any bets or?
I want to add the Chiefs against the Chargers. I would take the Moneyline Chiefs because the Chargers are. Oh gosh.
No, it's a divisional game. I looked at it and I
one.
I
no.
Crazy.
No. They'll be fine.
No.
They'll be fine. They won against them.
No, they're getting some of their wide receivers back. They're getting Mike Williams back or Keenan Allen. I'm not sure which one of those two, but they're coming back. They're struggling.
Were they playing in week 2? Because that's when they faced each other in week 2.
Well,
yeah, but week 2,
they're barely starting and everything. So.
I would feel more comfortable you choosing Buffalo against Cleveland Browns.
What? No, that's even worse.
Oh.
All right, now we're just getting dysfunctional. We've lost the.
Well, I just want to say some breaking news. Cooper Kupp is actually done for the season. Actually. Yep.
Where?
He suffered a high ankle sprain versus the Cardinals, per one source.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
And so.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yep.
Who has him in our?
I know who has him.
Well, it doesn't sound good, honestly. I don't. It hasn't been confirmed it's going to be the whole season, but
I didn't see that it was.
At least
but it doesn't sound. It doesn't look good. It looks like he's going to be missing quite some time.
They were saying it could have been worse. No.
Yeah, it was not a season-ending, Andy.
No, that's why I'm changing it.
You're changing it.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
changing it.
Jeez.
Well, it's because everybody. No, it's because everybody
Wow.
was like, "Oh man, he's gone," because it's really. Even though we're in the middle of the season, he might be like done. But no, it just doesn't look good in the.
I didn't even see the highlight. Like there weren't even. Well, I personally didn't see. I didn't see like. Oh, everyone's like, "Oh, Cooper Kupp's injured." Blah 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 blah. Look at this. I just knew after like a while. Yeah. That really sucks.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, that's that's everything for me.
All right, yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We are the Football Tailgaters again, and you can follow us on our socials. That is Football Tailgaters on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. You guys can comment on there, your opinions, whatever you guys think. Interact with us on there. We love that from you guys. So, yeah, until next episode, thank you guys.
Thank you.